Unique learning badges, we say for the recognition of non-formal learning in European youth work. This was the name when we started the project, and now we understand we're going much wider. Naturally the interest increased, and we're saying it's probably not only about non-formal learning, and it's not only recognition within the field of youth work. Very briefly about the project idea. The wider vision we had in our minds when starting this initiative was actually contributing to the creation of the world where different kind of learning is valued, recognized and accredited, both by learners and by those making the educational provisions for them. And well, nice vision. We're thinking how that might be possible, and we said let's experiment. Let's use one tool. I will talk a bit more about what kind of tool it is, but we said we will develop a digital tool and web-based platform, and we will build capacities of people to use that tool, to experiment with this. And well, you being from different sectors probably know there is a lot out there in the field of competence recognition, in the field of validating learning and so on. And we chose one of the tools that was invented not long time ago, open badges. Open badges is a new innovative tool. And there are two things that probably you might be wondering: who are we and what are the open badges, what it is about. Yeah. So it's very shortly that we are a group of organizations mainly dealing within the non-formal education field and youth work. And you know the countries already, you saw some faces. We are educators, trainers, consultants, some of us working as youth workers as well. And also we involved local organizations, national partners as well. So these are youth workers, youth leaders, trainers, teachers, and also institutions. Now, what is an open badge? Yeah, so now you see a lot of visuals, and I will get into the details. Yeah, about open badge. So first of all, this is a visual representation, and it's digital visual representation with a certain data integrated. So we have an image of a badge, and we're already exploring at this training that at different times of our lives we were receiving badges for different kind of reasons. Very interested. How many people actually ever received a badge in their life? Those who got a badge, raise your hand. Any kind of badge. Not necessarily open badge, but any kind of badge for something.
It's by Lucas, Lucas.
Yes. Okay, thank you. For some reason, the ones who came as a guest, half of them didn't raise their hands, so probably they need to think more and remember what badges they received in their life. Or maybe they didn't receive, but there is a chance to get. So it's a visual image, but it's not just an image. What is the most important, that there is a data behind the image. That's why we call it, it's kind of digital certificate. Short history, it was created by Mozilla Foundation, a non-profit foundation, with the cooperation with the MacArthur Foundation. And important feature that it's free software and it's open technical standard, meaning that it can be taken by whomever in this world, and they can use this technical standard and integrate this in their educational settings, in their educational environments. So widely speaking, actually any user can earn, manage and display these open badges. Yeah? And I know there are benefits and there are concerns about the openness and the idea of that anybody can do it, especially when we start talking about the quality of education and the quality of recognition systems. So we will look a bit closer what is behind the visual. So imagine that you're learning and you're achieving the open badge. So it's a digital certificate which contains a specific data, and that is the standard. So everybody willing to use open badges, they should follow the standard and issue the badges which would have at least these elements that you can see here. So there would be a badge name, there would be description of what this open badge means. So it could be a name of a skill or knowledge or a specific experience gained by a person. Then the criteria according to which the badge was issued. Yeah. Then clearly the issuer should be identified, organization, institution who issued the badge. Evidence, link to the evidence. So it's working web link where anybody can check what the learner had to provide to get the badge. And the evidence could be very, very diverse. It's really up to your educational settings and your creativity, how people should prove that they learned something. Then the date issued, and there are two fields that were added recently because the open badge is new tool and is developing. It has another part which says standards, so actually you can relate the badge with your existing competence framework, whether it's a degree, whether it's a competence framework you're dealing with, and there's something like tags, so you can contextualize the badge. So you can relate your open badge with a specific field or industry. So that's about visual and that's about the data, and now how it actually works. Yeah. So the idea is that it can be issued by different organizations using the open badge infrastructure and using the code created by Mozilla Foundation. And it creates possibility for a learner to combine things and to show to others in a way the full story of learning and different skills and knowledge that and experiences that people achieve in their learning journey. Not only the last part, not only the degree paper, not only the certificate, but also what people were learning on the way. And there is a possibility to collect them and display them, because this is also a recent need. People learn a lot in different environments. There's always a question, what do I do with this learning? How can I prove it to someone? And how can I collect things in one place? Because now the reality is that a lot of different standards, a lot of different forms of proving that I learned something. And there's a possibility to display this. One of the ways and spaces that Mozilla Foundation created, they call a backpack, yeah? Something you put on your back. And it's a virtual backpack, and it's a place where you can collect your badges. So whatever you learn and wherever you learn in this world, either it's online course or a real course using open badges, or different kind of learning environments, you're adding things into one place, and you can structure those badges as you wish and then share them where you want to share. Either it's employer, university, and so on. And now you know what is behind each badge. Yeah? There are working links with the evidence, criteria, who issued, and even the date of expiry. We know that some knowledge is getting forgotten. Some skills expire if we don't practice those skills. So there is even a possibility to say this badge will expire unless you really practice that skill. This is more or less about similar things, just visually. I know some people learn more through text, others more by seeing visuals. So that's how it works. Do we have any? Yes. So imagine that learner is going to different institutions, sometimes going online, sometimes attending non-formal education program, and so on. And those institutions are using open badge infrastructure, so they are getting all these digital certificates, right? Then the learner is putting everything on a backpack. At the moment, the backpack is at the Mozilla servers, and by the end of this year, Mozilla will change this and provide opportunities for the organizations to have their own backpacks, if they want to have such, right? So people can be collecting their badges in the specific backpack of the learning provider. Not that quick. So, and then from these backpacks, as I said, people can share it, they can tweet, they can put on their blog. If they want to display, they can put on their profiles. So they can really share their learning achievements. And we live in a time of sharing and broadcasting ourselves, our points of view, and now it provides opportunity to broadcast our learning outcomes. And we believe that this sharing and possibility to transfer these certificates in different formats will potentially unlock a variety of opportunities for people. Either further education opportunities, employment opportunities, and so on. And our project scale, a lot of numbers, and you can find them when visiting our website, www.learningbadges.eu, and you will see how many partners are involved, how many projects we plan will be involved, how many people will find out about the project and possibility to experiment with badges. And our invitation to all of you, including our partners, but also guests who came to find out about this, not to be just spectators, but thinking of perhaps inventing your own learning ecosystem or upgrading your own educational system and adding badges to this. Why not? Experiment with this, try out, gain experiences, gain reflections, share with the world, share with others, and keep on creating a better future. Yeah, and I want to put the contacts of our project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lima.